Welcome back. A major shakeup in the country's Catholic leadership with a changing of the guard for the Catholic Church in New York in the year ahead. As the leader of the Archdiocese of New York, Timothy Cardinal Dolan's resignation was accepted by the Vatican. And Pope Leo, then the first U.S. Pope, appointed a relatively unknown cleric from Illinois, Bishop Ronald Hicks, to lead the second largest Catholic diocese with nearly 3 million church members in New York. I spoke with His Eminence at St. Patrick's Cathedral this week as he looked back on his 17 years at the helm, including leading the reconstruction of St. Patrick's Cathedral in this exclusive. You submitted your resignation.
Yes.
Why? Because you turned 75?
Yeah, you have to. It's canon law, church law, that when a bishop reaches 75, you must submit your resignation to the Bishop of Rome, the Holy Father. So I did. And about 2 weeks later, I got the letter back saying, yeah, it was good you sent it in. Every bishop has to. The Holy Father, always, this is the same for everybody. The Holy Father accepts your resignation, nunc pro tunc. Do you remember your Latin? He accepts your resignation now, nunc pro tunc, for then. The then being when a successor is appointed. So really, what will define it, my resignation's already been accepted. I continue as Archbishop at the Holy Father's wish. But so what will change status is the appointment of a successor. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Cardinal Dolan, I mean, you are a loved figure in New York and across the country.
Well, you don't do bad yourself.
No, people do not want to see you go. You're not going to completely retire, right?
No,
What are you going to do?
And
Have you thought about this?
Yeah, because people know, when you turn 75, any bishop, pretty soon he's going to be retired. So people know that, and they'll start writing you. So I got some requests, like to go to some universities, just to be on campus, maybe to take a sabbatical, maybe to teach a course. I even got a request, an offer to write a book. I got an offer to do a documentary on the status of the church in the United States. So things come in, and I'm just going to kind of appreciate the chance to set my own schedule.
So how do you think things will be different in the new year?
Yeah, that's why we can read the Bible with such depth, because even though some of it was written 3,000 years ago, you're thinking, wow, this could be written today, because it's talking about the eternal truths. So many things aren't going to change. There's usually cosmetic change. The only thing we know for sure, Maria, is God remains the same. We have that beautiful line in the Bible, Jesus Christ the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yep, things changed last year. Things are going to change in 26. He and He alone is always the same, and thank God He is. That's why we often use that anchor or that rock to symbolize the divine, because He's always with us. He's always the same. Semper idem, Latin, always the same.
Beautiful. You were there, I mean, at the conclave.
Yeah.
I want to get your take on how that was. I mean, I watched you on television until the new pope was named.
The conclave probably began about 5 o'clock on Wednesday in the Sistine Chapel, locked up, nobody but ourselves. And it was done within 24 hours. So the conclave itself is brisk. Not always true throughout church history, but the last two were certainly pretty brisk. What's fascinating about the conclave is what happens ahead of time. In those 2 intense weeks where the College of Cardinals come together every day but Sunday for intense meeting, we call them the congregation meetings, where all the cardinals will speak their mind. There's no campaigning. There's not people standing up saying this guy should be pope, but there is everybody standing up saying this is the kind of pope we need. These are the challenges that Holy Mother Church is facing now. I found those. I'd been in one in 2013, so this was my second rodeo. I found that fascinating, to listen to bishops from all over the world kind of describe what he says. And you get kind of pretty specific about Pope Francis. We loved what Pope Francis did here, here, here. The new Pope must keep that up, but now he must also turn his attention to here, here, here. That I found fascinating. And that really, you kind of go in then to the conclave with pretty well versed on the challenges of the church.
What are you most proud of as you look back at your time here?
Well, now that you mention it, And I wouldn't have thought of this until you sat down there. I guess what I'm most proud is that people like you were saying, we kind of hate to see you go.
Everyone's saying that.
That moves me very much to say, wow, you know, I'm not going to Frankie Campbell's here for a wake. That people say, we're going to miss you. That doesn't mean they're not going to enthusiastically welcome my successor and work with him as exuberantly as they did with me. But it means a lot to me when people say, hey, we're going to miss you. We hope you stick around. Will you still be able to say Mass? Will you still be able to preach? Yes, yes. Will you still come to the parishes? Will we still see you at events? Yes, okay? And when they smile and say, we're glad about that, I smile and say, I'm glad about that too.
You put your mark on this in such a way, even down to leading the complete renovation of St. Patrick's Cathedral.
You got time to go over?
I'd love to
Can
go
we go
and
over?
walk around with you.
I'm extraordinarily grateful for that.
You have to be extraordinarily grateful and proud of what you did.
We can't forget the role my predecessor, Cardinal Egan, played. So when I got here, Maria, in 2009, he said to me, you know, you got a big task because we have to repair and we have to renovate the cathedral. And he said, I kind of got the plans already. He said, we've kind of already got the blueprints here. We couldn't do it. We were ready to go. I was ready to start trying to raise the money when we found out that Pope Benedict was going to come. So he said, well, we have to have the cathedral open then. We can't have scaffolding all over. So Pope Benedict came in 2008. I show up in 2009, and poor Cardinal Egan said, sorry, you're going to have this. So I got to give him a lot of credit too. But that was an early challenge, and it's kind of still going on. We still got the $14 million repair of the organ. You know, don't you find it like if you're remodeling a house, you say, why didn't we just do it all at the beginning? I wish we could have, but you know, you try to be frugal. You say, we've raised this much money, let's go ahead and do it. We can do the organ later. So that's the kind of stuff we're still doing. Never is going to be done, just like a beautiful home is always going to need repair. But that's something for which I'm very grateful. And I'll tell you this, Maria, it's an icon of the cooperation that you see in New York. How many people are Catholic faithful, are Jewish people, people of no religion at all who said, we love St. Patrick's, count us in. And they put their money where their mouth was. So it was a real community endeavor.
I have a final question for you because an incident happened to me. I was at a public place once and someone came over to me and just went crazy screaming at me. They didn't like my coverage of President Trump and all of this stuff. And it really rattled me. I went home, I was crying. I told my dear 93-year-old mother. And my mother said, oh, Maria, that's crazy. Keep your head up high. And don't forget one important thing. Keep God in your heart.
Wow. How
and
beautiful.
I thought, Mom,
thank God
what
for
incredible
moms.
advice. Keep God in my heart.
Thank
So I
God
ask
for
you,
moms.
how do I keep God in my heart?
It reminds me of what my mom said. So 17 years ago, when I was told by Pope Benedict to be Archbishop of New York, the night before the announcement, I called my mom. And I was in Milwaukee then. I said, Mom, the Pope's named me Archbishop of New York. She said, oh, honey, congratulations. I said, Mom, I'm kind of scared. I don't know if I'm up to this, and I don't know if I'm going to do a decent job. She said, honey, God never asks us to do something without helping us do it. And she's like your mom, okay? How do you keep God in your heart? By recognizing, Maria, that he's already there, all right? You're baptized. You have the gift of faith. You have the gift of the Holy Spirit. Even people that aren't have the reflection of the divine within. So how do you keep God in your heart? By recognizing that he's already there, and the only way you're going to lose him is if you kick him out.
My thanks and best to Cardinal Timothy Dolan. Keep God in your heart.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.